Hello everybody, it's Rigo. How are you today? My day's been one of those days where good stuff, bad stuff, or things, or just basically life happens, and I've had to control how I see it, how I respond to it, all that good stuff. Today, well, as you know, I think I have shared, I don't know if you watched it, but on this truck I have been trying to decide what to put on the back to cover it, because I'm going to Florida, leaving tomorrow morning. It's Saturday, so that's Sunday. And I'm going to put as much stuff in my truck and pull a U-Haul if need to come back here. The two options I had was something covered the back called a bed cover or tonneau, or a camper shell, not the traditional camper shell that we knew back in the 70s and 80s, but a camper shell, a cover. The drawback of the camper shell is it's got windows. You need windows to see around it and through it, and therefore people can see what's inside of it. The drawback of a bed cover is you can only put stuff in as high as the side of your truck bed. Well, in addition, something I learned and thought of yesterday is I'm going to take out the back seats out of the back of my truck. Give me more space. So between the back seat of my truck and the tonneau, my bed covered with tonneau cover, I should be able to get most of my stuff here. And like I said, when I got back here, the tonneau cover is more useful, is more practical. So that's what I went on Facebook Marketplace. The one I have is called Backflip Max. I think there's another name for it, but I'll fill in all the details. So all that, I met the person who had that at a parking lot of a shopping center. We got it. Then from there, I thought, hey, it'd be great. I needed an oil change, because on every used car I get, soon after I get it, and definitely before a trip, I have the oil changed, I changed the air filter, and I changed the wiper blades. Because I don't know when any of those have been done, and I put them on a schedule. And so I called, worked online for all these people for the Toyota dealerships to get a oil change, and all the AI people said they were busy. So in the area where I was when I got the bed cover, I dropped by the closest Toyota dealership, and they were able to work me in. It took a couple hours, but I got got my oil changed, and actually got my air filter and the windshield wipers here. So I'm working on a return for something I bought, a messenger bag, a really cool one. And so I've been talking to this guy for a couple of days about trying to get returns. He's using Shopify, and so trying to get a return label. He paid for it, but I could never get it. So I signed up for FedEx online. I did everything on there. Said it was $30, but they wouldn't ship till Monday. So we got a FedEx office, store not too far from us. I said, hey, let's go there. I went there, and same thing Monday. So FYI, if you guys do FedEx online, it is cheaper than going by a FedEx store. But however, here's another little interesting thing that happened today. Between the FedEx office and here, I lost the receipt with the tracking number. Couldn't find it. It's not in my car, it wasn't in my pockets. And so I call the number on the maps, FedEx, ended up getting an AI assistant. Didn't get anywhere. I said, hold on, I want to talk to someone at the Wilshire office. Kept doing it, and the AI assistant couldn't comprehend that. And so I hung up and went back to the store where I got it from. The same guy was there, and we got the tracking number. So that has started another rant for me, because we're all dealing with it. All these companies are cramming down our throats AI for customer service. and it doesn't work at all. I mean, we end up more frustrated. Like yesterday, I think I called a dealership, and they had named their AI assistant online. I mean, the person the entity I talked to, and I hung up because I can't stand that. But companies are pushing it down our throats, and in return, we as customers, we're getting extremely poor customer service. We get good customer service from people, period. People solve problems, not AI. But on that note, to get back to my truck, as you can see, it's dark. I've got the bed cover. I'm gonna put that on. I've got some other things on it. I've got to take out the back seats. It's 6 o'clock. Can't wait till the time changes. And so that's it. Next time I see you, it'll probably be either when I finish. I'll probably show you everything I'm doing tomorrow when in the daylight. But yeah, so that's been my day. Just got frustrated. I tried to get that return back because I needed to get it going before I left town, and that made me a little flustered. But actually, I'm just about to go to work, go get my headlamp, and try to get everything done in the dark. So, and actually, I like this lighting. I'm on the front porch where I live. So, long story short, it just goes back to whatever happens in our world, all right? Because life happens. I was thinking about that this morning. I made a comment in my head about something negative, and the thought that immediately came back in my head was, every one of our lives is different, and every one of our pasts is different. And somehow along the way, we come up with a preconceived idea about what our past should be. And if it deviates, we get upset. But I mean, that's how everybody is. I'm watching something on TV. It's a series that's happened in probably late 17 to 1800s. You got people dying of disease, war. I mean, the unexpected thing happens. And when the unexpected happens, you just gotta face it, deal with it, and move on. Something I am really working on is trying to evaluate my days. So at the end of the day, then I try to evaluate today and make a plan for tomorrow. But how does that go into, I'm trying to figure out how I tie that into what I was talking about before. And something else I'm working on is trying to become a better communicator. There's two ex-presidents who were great. There's probably more. There's definitely more, but two that I know that were great communicators. And both of them spoke very slowly. So what I'm trying to do when I speak is be more intentional and speak more slowly to become a better communicator. Because that's another thing I want to happen with this platform, is for me to become a better communicator. So that's it. Let me go get to work, and I'll talk to you later. While installing it. So that's what we have right there. But I like it because I close my tailgate, close the cover, and there we go. My stuff's pretty secure. The other thing I've done is blacked out the emblems. So we got that right there. All the emblems there, the front have been blacked out. I'm looking at getting the bumpers, but wrapping them black. But and then the other thing that I've got going on, and we'll access it from the other side because it's actually a bit more room. This thing has an air suspension, airbags. You can see them right there. All right. So when I initially got it, I wanted to remove them, but I've since learned more about the suspension on these, and I'm gonna give it a try because I'm not gonna take them out quite yet. Because honest Toyota Tundra. The suspension is basically the leaf springs that holds the weight, and the suspension and the shock absorber. Whereas in the front, you've got more traditional springs right there, and that supports the weight of the truck. So, I mean, it's not really hurting anything right there. And so again, I'm not gonna take it out quite yet. The reason I wanted to was in the back seat, you see I got wires right here, got this right there, and I got a pump right there. So, kind of messy, but it is what it is. There you go. I mean, like I said, she's pretty standard cloth seats. Pretty standard. So that's it. I've lost one thing that I can't find yet, but that's kind of like my life. I lose things all the time, or quite often. We got a phone rack, so this is what I'm gonna use for the phone. We'll see how it works. The one I use for in my car, something I had for my motorcycle handlebars, and it's kind of weak, so I'm trying something different. But so there you go. Like I said, the paint's rough on a good portion of it. I said tires are in okay shape, I think. I changed the oil, I changed the air filter, I changed the wiper blades. I'm gonna have the coolant checked out. I might figure out how I can flush it myself. Thing here is I just don't have a garage, a carport, or anything like that to work on, which I miss. I miss that from my mom's house. But like I said, I am planning on. All right, so my main reason for going to Pensacola is to clean out a big storage unit. Got there, it's a combination of my mother's stuff and my stuff. So I want to clean that out. I'm going to bring back what I can, what I think I need. Like I said, what I'm going to do is, you saw the bed of the truck, put some there, and then I'm going to take out the back seats and have that area. Something that I've learned through all this with my mom is someone is going to go through your stuff, my stuff, and get rid of it. And so if I was to die right now, I've got this apartment here, and I've got a storage unit, and I don't have anybody. So someone who I don't know would throw away my stuff. So what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to go through when I get that storage unit, and I'm going to sell what I can real quick, and then I'm going to just throw everything out. Because I'm going to bring here what I can, but I'm not going to bring a lot of stuff, because I don't need a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of room. I'm bringing A, what I could sell on eBay, or B, just what I could use. And then I do have some sailboat stuff. Boat stuff, I got a lot, good bit, so I'm not going to throw that away. I'm just going to get a smaller storage, a very small storage unit in Pensacola, and just keep that for now. I had a talk with some friends of mine there, the people I do the charters from, and I'm not sure the work that's going to be available for me with them this summer. I've got back issues, and then I've got to get my hernia taken care of before I can go back to work with them, because part of that was lifting a hanker, and It wasn't heavy, but I mean, that's how I tweaked my hernia, I believe. So basically, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do this summer. I got to get out of the car. The car is just bad on my back, bad on my health. I got to get out of it. I don't see how people spend all that much time in it. But so I'm working on things to get out of that. This is one thing is, as this grows, hopefully it will grow into something. Well, I don't know how it's going to grow, but as I do this more, I don't know. Like I just don't know what I'll be doing in 3 months, 4 months. I do not know where I'm going to be, but I do know that I do have to get rid of some of that stuff in that storage unit. I've got to downsize that. And now's a good time because it's before I've started doing Uber Black out here with a buddy SUV. It's just before all my stuff is really taken off. So the timing appears right to do that trip. Like I said, I'm always positive. Well, I'm confident in this truck, about 98%. Like I said, it is 2011. It does have 60,000 miles. But on that same note, that's exactly where I got my Acura. It was a 2015. It had 160,000 miles, and I put 100,000 miles. Hey everyone, it's Rigo here. Hope you're doing good. I am getting my Tacoma ready to drive to Florida. I meant to leave early this morning, but there is a big weather system. They said it's covering 35 states between here and Florida. So I'm planning to go I-10. It's not the scenic route, but it's the most southern route to avoid any issues with the weather, but still working on getting the Tundra ready. Something I did earlier, and I want to meant to bring it with me. I've got it right here. Like I said, this is a used. It's 2016, so I'm going through things that I'm not sure if they had maintenance with them. So what I did was, my headlights were kind of yellow, so you can see a lot clearer there and a lot clearer there. I, as we all do, went online, and there are some crazy ways to people say to clean your headlights, and these are plastic. Like, so back in the day when I was a kid, and even a good portion of my early life, headlights were glass, and they lasted longer. They did not yellow. I had a car, I think my Celica, I somehow broke 3 of them, and didn't get an inspection one time because of that when I was living in Texas. But the plastic ones over time yellow. And so I Googled it, went to YouTube, and there's a guy that looked at the 4 most common ways that people use to clean their headlights. And he did a comparison. And what the result of that was this right here. Ultra Headlight Restoration Kit. It's Ultra Heavy Light 3M Ultra Headlight Restoration Kit, about 15 bucks. And what it does is you literally sand it. You do 3 different grades of sanding, and then you end up with a clear coat. And that's what we ended up with. So you got that and that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is replace my headlights, because I am going to drive through the night tonight. Because like I said, I've given that storm 12 hours head start, but I've got to get my way there, and I've got to change a doctor's appointment, because that's on the back end, because I want to have some time to come back and show you guys some more of a beautiful country. But I'm going to change my headlight bulbs, and I'll get back to you. All right, just got through putting the headlight bulbs in the Tundra. Pretty straightforward. Just had to Google how to get the bulb actually out of the outlet, but just pinching in, it was good to go. But I checked my radiator, and the radiator cap almost disintegrated in my hands. And the radiator was empty and the reservoir was empty. So, don't know how long that's been going on. I'm going to go get a radiator cap and Google how to fill up an empty radiator. Because I don't know if I'm supposed to fill the radiator full and then the reservoir. Don't want to overfill it. Not sure how to do it, but I'm going to Google it and find out. But it's dry. So, I was planning on driving out tonight, but I don't think I'm going to do so. I'm going to fill up the radiator and then drive the truck tonight and see if there's any leakage, any water leakage anywhere before I head out cross country. All right, so that's where we are. It's always something else. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, everybody, don't know if you can see this, but there are my two radiator caps. One on the left, right here, is the original one, and that's the one that is new. So I am hoping that because that old cap was almost done, that's the reason why my coolant was gone. So we'll check it out.